Inside the twisted mind of Baekuni, Indonesia's serial killer. The shocking and haunting tale of Babe, the seemingly kind street vendor who confessed to the sexual abuse and murders of 14 young boys, serves as a reminder of a deeply troubling issue in Southeast Asia. This serial killing has cast a spotlight on a problem that often goes unnoticed: the widespread sexual abuse of street children. Hold on to your seats, because this story is about to take you on a roller coaster of emotions, twists, and reality of our society. Let's uncover the hidden truths behind the abuse of street children. Babe's life is one example. His life was a tale of hardship and resilience, one that began in the rural heartland of Magelang. As the son of a farmer, he faced a challenging childhood, marked not only by economic struggles but also by the taunts of others due to his diminutive stature. His dwarfism made him the target of hurtful comments, and this constant ridicule left him with scars that would last a lifetime. His formal education was limited, ending at just the 3rd grade. Leaving him without the opportunity for further academic growth. At the tender age of 12, Babe made the fateful decision to leave his hometown behind and venture to the bustling city of Jakarta. Sadly, life in the capital city was far from the dreams he may have had as a young boy. Homelessness became his reality, and he found himself residing in Lapangan Banteng, where the harsh streets of Jakarta became his unforgiving home. Life on the streets was unforgiving, and Babe faced unimaginable challenges. During this period, he tragically became a victim of child abuse, enduring an experience that would haunt him forever. This traumatic event only added to the layers of pain and adversity that had defined his life. In an attempt to change the course of his destiny, Babe found an opportunity to escape the harsh streets. He met a man named Kuk Saputer, who offered him a chance at a different life. This chance involved relocating to Kuningan, West Java, where Babe began herding buffalo. It was a challenging job, but offered some stability in his turbulent existence. At the age of 21, Babe married, hoping for a sense of companionship and normalcy. However, his life took another tumble as he discovered that he suffered from a medical condition that prevented him from achieving an erection, a revelation that brought profound emotional and physical distress. Tragically, his wife passed away, leaving Babe to grapple with the heartache of unfulfilled dreams. Despite his own struggles, Babe found solace in caring for street children in Jakarta. He took on the role of a guardian, helping those who faced hardships similar to his own. However, Babe's dull past and unmet desires continued to haunt him. When his own sexual desires arose, he made multiple mistakes that would forever mar his reputation and legacy. From the rural village of Magelang to the unforgiving streets of Jakarta, his journey was marked by suffering, trauma, and unfulfilled dreams. Serial killer with a soft heart. Babe, a 48-year-old man, navigated the bustling streets of Jakarta, the nation's capital, with a cart laden with snacks, drinks, and cigarettes. Among the community of street children, he was affectionately known as Babe, pronounced Barbe, a term of endearment akin to calling him Dad. Babe was renowned for his apparent kindness towards street kids, often extending his generosity by providing them with temporary shelter, seemingly without any malicious intent. In chilling and disturbing detail, Babe admitted to the police, following his arrest, that he had strangled some of these children, both before and after subjecting them to sexual abuse. His arrest occurred in January, shortly after the discovery of 9-year-old Ardiancia's severed body wrapped in a plastic bag. While in police custody, he admitted to the gruesome murders of 14 boys, ranging in age from 6 to 12, a horrifying series of crimes that started in 1995. Police investigator Lieutenant Colonel Nico Afinta revealed that Babe's initial method involved luring these innocent children to his home, where he subjected them to unspeakable acts before purposely disposing of their lifeless bodies. A chilling escalation in his murders began in 2007, as he transitioned to decapitating and mutilating his victims after strangling them with rope. His final victim was a neighbor, and it was Ardiancia's vigilant mother who, having noticed her son spending time at Baekuni's residence in recent months, immediately grew suspicious of him. Arif Small, 6 years, was one of the many victims. His corpse was discovered in the terminal Pulagadung and cut into 4 pieces. He was discovered without a head on Thursday, May 15, 2008. Babe's next victim, Adi, 12 years, was found dead on July 9, 2007, at Market Klender, Kakung. Adi's body was dismembered before being dumped at Klender Market. Ardiancia, 10 years, was discovered dead near Jalan Raya Bekasi KM 27 on January 8, 2010. Before tossing bodies, Babe would have sex with the victim and then chop up the victim's body. Most of the victims' corpses were discovered wrapped in cardboard. Another victim, Rio's body, was dismembered into 5 pieces. The lifeless body was discovered on the pavement in front of the Bekasi Trade Center, BTC, by passers-by. His head was disposed of separately under the bridge, near the place of his body's discovery. Arif, his next victim, was tossed into Brass, right at the edge of time in the Sawara region of Kuningan, West Java. Arif's body was not dismembered. However, he was murdered by burying his head in a river. It was 1999. Before his body was disposed of, he was also sodomized. Yusuf Maulana was discovered on April 30, 2007 at the Jenkel public bus stop. This child was between the ages of 9 and 12. Vicious killings of street children were frequently linked to the perpetrator's mental state. As with the crimes committed by Babe pedophilia, street children were sacrificed to satisfy his sexual cravings. According to Sito Moliakti, chairman of the Independent National Commission on Child Protection, complaints of sexual abuse and missing children indicate that there are more victims of Baekuni and other murders in Jakarta, Makassar, and Medan. I believe more individuals are like Babe. This is just the tip of the iceberg, he explained. You are already being abused when you are 7 or 8 years old. It's a big problem in a place like Java, he remarked, referring to Indonesia's largest island, which is home to the majority of the country's 235 million people. Change in pattern led police to catch Jakarta murderer, expert. The horrific murders done by Baekuni came to light because he strayed from his own established patterns, as described by Sarlito Wirawan, a psychologist from the University of Indonesia. It was his deviation from his own meticulously followed procedures that led to his capture, Sarlito explained during a press conference held at the Jakarta Metro Police Station. Sarlito further clarified that Baekuni's previous victims were street children who were not under his care. However, he took the life of Ardiancia, a 9-year-old who had been living with him, which eventually unraveled the string of his past crimes. This revelation became possible because Ardi had spent 6 months under Baekuni's roof, and his mother was acquainted with Babe, as Baekuni was known. Baekuni had been quite discerning in selecting his victims, primarily targeting handsome children with fair, smooth skin. He was a homosexual pedophile and a likely serial killer, yet he was deemed mentally fit to stand trial. According to the police, Baekuni admitted to the murders of 14 street children, dating back to 1993. The identities of the latest victims he confessed to killing were revealed as Ferry, Doli, Kiki, and Adit. 14 victims have been accounted for, with the murders stretching back to 1993, albeit with significant gaps between incidents, explained Jakarta Metro Police Chief Insp. General Wahyono in the press conference. Taking out confessions from Baekuni proved to be a test of extraordinary patience for the police, mainly due to his deteriorating memory. Adrianus Miliala, a criminologist from the University of Indonesia, labeled Baekuni's case as the most horrifying in the history of Indonesia. Alleged Jakarta serial child killer claims new victims. Baekuni, a confessed serial child murderer, admitted to killing 4 more street children, Jakarta police stated later, adding that the number of victims might grow further. The 4 new victims were murdered in Jakarta, according to Jakarta Metro Police. The new confessions by the 49-year-old known as Babe extend the total number of children he is accused of killing and defiling before mutilating and disposing of their remains to 14. The number of victims might rise further, he says, adding that he does not believe the alleged killings were motivated solely by sexual desire. A psychologist who evaluated Baekuni stated that the man enjoyed having sexual relations with corpses as long as he had murdered the victim himself. The National Commission for Child Protection, Komnas Anak, earlier said that the real number of victims might be as high as 15, as demonstrated by the images acquired by Baekuni. According to Babe's street kids, the ones in the images were his favorites. He may have had more than 15 victims. 49-year-old pedophile arrested in Indonesia. Babe was apprehended by police in Indonesia after confessing to murdering and sodomizing 7 children. Baekuni, the 49-year-old suspect, is a street seller. He was apprehended when the mutilated body of a 9-year-old child was discovered in East Jakarta last week. The youngster was one of dozens of street children who Baekuni housed in his leased home. According to police, his crimes began in 1997. The first victim is thought to have been slain in Kuningan, West Java, and the remaining victims in Jakarta. Baekuni is accused of sodomizing his victims after strangling them to death with a plastic rope because they refused to suit his sexual cravings.